Hello everyone, this is Ripsy here, and I'll be doing a video about 3 general tips that you might want to use if you are low MMR, meaning Platinum or below. By low MMR, I mostly mean everything that's below Diamond or a certain point of Diamond. Normally I would refer to Diamond 2 and below as to how many of you would need to use the general tips. But recently I have got the feeling that even lower diamond players have the ability or to understand what I'm going to say next and are already doing that. Therefore, I'm going to be mainly referring to bronze, silver, gold, and just a few brackets and platinum, depending on the server that you're in, of course. Now, those 3 general tips are not gameplay related, and therefore it will not impact directly the way you'll play the game. These are mostly based on psychological or mental problems that you might encounter when you play the game and try to improve. All of you are probably used with the silver or the bronze guy that simply goes around on forums or Discord channels and keeps saying, guys, hey, can I get some help? I'm very low elo and I've been stuck in silver 5 for the past 5 years. I haven't improved myself in a long while. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm trying my best to win the game. I'm trying my hardest, but I'm just like, every single game there's an AFK, a feeder, a troller, something like that. And all of you who say that thing need to understand that there are players who climbed higher level than you, and they didn't do it in a much better environment, meaning that they went through the same tiers as you did. In order for me to explain those points, I will put them on the desktop one by one when I will be explaining them, and I will then try to make analogies to either general stuff that you might know or my situation and how I managed to climb low elo, because I also got placed there at one point in time. I'm going to be trying to keep this discussion as simple as possible so every one of you can understand. So it's not depending on how old you are or how smart you are, stuff like that. All of you should understand this if I explain it properly to you, which I think I will do. Now, to start off, I'm going to be going with the first point that you need in order to climb. And I'm going to put it on the desktop right now. Number 1 is competitive spirit. Now, you might not understand what that means at first, so it's not the competitive spirit meaning the spirit to play in LCS or something like that. No. Ranked is competitive in its own mod. It's just how the mod was created. It was what it was created for. That's its purpose. Its purpose is not to be fun. Its purpose it's not to be a way to play with your friends. Ranked and solo queue is a reason for you to play, to compare yourself with other people, to play against them, and to try to improve while learning from the mistakes that you did and from other players who are playing better than you. Hence, if you are a casual player, I don't think you should be playing ranked at all, and if you keep saying that you're stuck in silver or bronze or gold, but you play your best and you simply play ranked for fun, meaning you play random champions, or you're trying to build or stuff like that for the first time and keep doing this over and over again without any drive to improve or to play competitively to win the games, means that you probably should not be playing ranked. Now, I know this might be harsh on a lot of you, but it's just how I think the game should be played, and honestly, I think the general purpose of why ranked mode was created goes to show that I'm pretty much right about that point. So in the end, I'll try to explain to you what it means to have a competitive spirit. To have a competitive spirit means to try hard every single game that you can, whether or not you can win or lose. There are some games that you might be able to win, there are some games that you might not be able to do that, and you will simply lose, even if it's your fault or not. The consensus is that there are some games in which you simply cannot win. And no matter what you do, you cannot win. That consensus is false. There is always something you can do more in a game to win it. There is always a limit you can break through which you can actually help the team and help yourself to win the game. So stop thinking about I can do more in this game because there's always some points that you can improve and you can do better. Obviously, if you're having 2FK people in your team, your general skill might simply not be enough to get past that and win the game because it's just too much of a handicap for your team and there's not much you can do. In that case, I agree that some games you just cannot win. But other than that, 5v5 games, even if you have a feeder, those games are still winnable. If you have someone who intentionally trolls and feeds, if you have someone who is constantly FK, then your chances are very, very reduced. But there's a slight possibility that you might win. I'm not saying you should play the game, but you should not get frustrated about the game. Because those unwinnable games, you don't get to say anything in them. And you should not get frustrated from them, because you don't gain anything by getting frustrated on other people. You should focus only on yourself and on your own improvement that you're gonna get. Now I'm gonna say my example on how I climbed lower tier when I first played, and how my competitive spirit appeared and how it remained there. So I'm gonna be starting off with me being in high school, having a group of friends that I know very well. I started playing League of Legends 1 year after they started, and I ended up getting level 30 at about halfway to season 3. Whereas some of them were playing from season 2, some of them from season 1. There's one guy who I think I'm best friends with that actually played in season 2 and got to gold elo. Back then there was elo, not ladders, not tiers. So I'm just going to say what the elo representation meant in tier representation. So he was an elo that was about gold in season 3. After he played his placement in season 3 as well, he got placed into gold 5, if I remember correctly, and he just kept on playing. Now, I had started halfway to season 3 to play, and he was already very, way harder than me. The thing is, I started playing with them in normals, and they actually taught me on how to play the game, and I learned from them. Not only that, but I usually watch streams because I enjoyed watching League of Legends being played by someone else. So I started getting some knowledge from that as well. I'm going to discuss that at the third point in time, but for now I'll concentrate on what I did. I thought to myself that, well, I'm going to just start playing ranked, and I did. I started playing ranked, I ended up 6-4 or 5-5 in my 10 placement games, and ended up playing in Bronze 1. Now, that was a massive hit for me, because me playing with those players, with my friends, and seeing that I'm playing so much lower than them, made me very, very disappointed in myself, because I couldn't get higher, and that I'm very bad at the game. And there are two options you can do then. You can either quit the game, or try to play the game and try to improve. What I chose to do is to try to play the game and improve, because I wanted to be better than that friend. I wanted to get higher elo than him. I wanted to be over him, and to show that to him that I can't do it alone. So what I started doing is to simply play at our games and play every single game with the motivation that I'm gonna win this game, or I'm gonna at least improve myself in this game, no matter if I win it or not, because I want to get at least gold for now. So I put my my limit to gold to try to get it, and that's what it meant to have a competitive spirit. I tried it at every single game because I wanted to get higher and as high as I could possibly to get nearby him. My luck was that he also had this competitive spirit once I started playing and climbing nearby him, that we kind of were trying to get better than each other all the time. He had the upper hand of more experience, but I just put more effort into it and I learned more. Now, I ended up going from Bronze 1 to Gold 5 in about 2 weeks worth of playing. But I played about 45 games on average per day. So you can do the math yourself. That's quite a lot of games that I played in 2 weeks, at least, for a high schooler. For someone who actually had other stuff to do. So I invested quite a lot of my time into learning League at that point in time. But it ended up being successful because I actually didn't care one bit what the other players were doing. I focused on myself and my own improvement because I was focused on actually surpassing my friend and skill on League of Legends. Maybe that seems childish to you. I think it's very good to show that in real life, It shows that you want to be better and they're willing to get better. Nevertheless, this is pretty much what I try to prove by competitive spirit. Find yourself a motivation to climb. Find yourself a friend or someone who wants to be higher with. Be that it's a semi-pro player, an amateur player, he's a pro player, he's a friend of you, he's someone you met in league. It doesn't matter who. Try to find a person that you can compare to and that you want to get at the same level as him, and just try as hard as possible. Find your friend who's gold. It doesn't matter if he's been boosted. Try to think yourself, I don't care what I'm doing. I will get his level and prove that I got there by myself. And just play solo queue and play it. And try hard every single game. That's pretty much what it means to have a competitive spirit. To try your best regardless of the outcome of the game. And if you're not going to win, to at least learn something from the game. This is pretty much the first point on the job tips of how to improve a league if you are lower MMR. This doesn't really apply to higher MMR because people there already have the spirit, so there's no point for me saying about that. Then we got to point 2. I'm going to show on the screen right now. It's the amount of time allocated towards playing and improving. Now what this means is you need to play more. You're probably not playing enough. I've seen players that come to me and ask me for coaching, and I ask for their OPGG, and they give me their OPGG with less than 100 games played, less than 150 games played in the season, and it's already like almost August. That's quite an issue, I think. I think that they're playing just not enough. If you don't have enough time, don't play ranked. Ranked is not for you. Ranked is you trying your best to improve. If you don't think you can do that, then don't play ranked. Play casually and play normals. Play with your friends or play another game. Because League of Legends ranked mode is made for tryharding. Is made for you to try to get as better as possible as a player as you can. Obviously, not anyone will succeed, but people will come and say that, oh, I'm playing a lot of games, but I can't seem to be winning a lot, and they come up with less than 100 games in a whole fucking season. Just look at them and I'm like, what? How can I help you? I don't know what you know. You know, it's just so limited. You have not a big pool of games that I can watch, and they're very, very far away from each other. So there's not much I can do to help you out with that one. You need to just spam more games. You need to find your real elo. Just play games and try to improve yourself and try to get to the point. When you get hard stuck somewhere, that's when you come to me to ask for coaching, or when you find yourself in a point where you don't know what to improve anymore. But don't come to me if you don't have a lot of game played, or come to any coach and ask them to help you out if you don't have games played, because that's just terrible. If you don't have the time, don't play ranked. If you do have the time, then what are you waiting for? Just go there and play. If, for example, I played 2 weeks, and I got from Bronze 1 to Gold 5, as I said previously. I played 4 to 5 games on average a day for 2 weeks straight. If you get burned out and you say, I can't play, man, I got burned out, I can't just, it's too much for me, then maybe League ranked is not for you. Because if you get burned out from this level, from playing a lower MMR, games that are supposedly easy, and you're getting burnt out from just spamming 4 games a day for 5 days or 6 days, then ranked is not for you. You're not going to be able to improve a lot because will never be able to put enough effort into it to improve. So, in the end, I recommend that you just quit ranked, or quit ranked in League of Legends. You can play another game maybe. Maybe there it's easier to improve, and it requires less effort. This is pretty much the general tip about amount of time allocated towards playing and improving, and what I meant by it. It seems simple, but truthfully, not a lot of players do it. Well, not a lot of players do it enough. If you have 1,500 games and you come at me asking for coaching, then I understand you, because you're stuck in silver with 1.5k games, and you truly do have a problem that is probably past you because you're not improving one bit, and that's the biggest problem. And I'll talk to you and see what issues you have, either that they are mental or gameplay. They're mostly in mental, however, since people seem to lack that something to improve. Even if they play the game, they just play it on autopilot, and that's not good. Regardless of this, I just want to note that you playing as many games as possible means that you need to focus on them as well. So you need to play them at your max efficiency. Don't play them on autopilot. Don't play them just like you play casually. Just try hard on them. That's what I meant. Also play the amount of time allocated. You need to try hard as much as possible into it, and you need to have less fun in the game. Ultimately, improving is not fun unless you simply are a competitive person by default. And improving if you're not a competitive person is pretty hard, and I don't recommend doing it. I recommend just quitting ranked. But if you want to be able to become a competitive person, just keep doing it, and in the end, you'll get it as a reflex, and you'll be able to do it easily. Now, moving on, I'll go to the third point now. The third point is to watch replays, VOD, stream, and LCS. Now, what this means is you need to watch more content that can teach you stuff, that can give you knowledge, because just playing alone might not help you enough. So in the meantime, when you're not playing, when, for example, you're too tired to play tryhard, try to find ways to improve other than playing, which obviously mean reading content or watching content regarding League of Legends. Try to find content from high-level players, challengers, masters, very high diamonds, or former masters, stuff like that, LCS players, amateur players, anyone that's very, very high as a skill in a skill tier, and that can teach you stuff. One way to do this is simply watch educational streams, because there people mostly explain what they're doing. So you're gonna see a play that they make or a decision that they make. You're gonna be wondering, I wonder why that is happening. And he's gonna explain, well, I did this because, and this allows me to. But I will not be able to do that then. So you basically have them literally teach you the game, just like a teacher in primary school would, just explaining you step by step why you do something when, and that's pretty much it. These are the easiest streams to learn from, but they might not give you enough insight depending on your skill tier. If you're platinum, they might not help you as much. If you're bronze, I think they will help you the most because you probably do something wrong if you're still there after playing so many games. Watching streams, you can also watch high-level streams such as Peanuts, if you're, for example, jungler Harus, or Maxor, stuff like that, and you can learn from these players playing solo queue. And I might think, well, Maxor is something, maybe he will explain from time to time. Peanut and Blank or Haru, how do I learn from them? It's being Korean, I don't understand what they're saying. And this here comes your analysis skill, or your analysis ability comes in. Sorry. And you need to be able to now analyze games without having someone commentate over them. What this basically is equivalent to is self-learning. I'm going to make an analogy to a math problem so you can learn about self-learning. Let's say you're in a math class at primary school and the teacher gives you a problem and she says, if you don't try to solve this problem, nothing will happen. If you try to solve this problem and you will cheat, you will, however, get an F. If you try to solve this problem and succeed, however, you will instead get rewarded with an A+. So there are three options here. You can either not attempt the problem, actually 4 options. You can either not attempt the problem, you can attempt the problem and fail, which both of these just give you nothing, but we'll see later on that the second one actually is helpful to you. You can attempt the problem and be successful and get an A+, or you can attempt the problem and try to cheat because you cannot do it and get rewarded with an F. We obviously will ignore the first part of it, the first option, and we'll just talk about options 2, 3, and 4. Now, the equivalent to cheating is basically... oh, and by the way, the teacher will not give you the answer to the problem, ever. So if you don't attempt it, you'll never find the answer, and unless you find it yourself, you will never find the answer to that. And here comes your curiosity as well, because you might want to know the answer. But then again, that is another thing, and I don't want to talk about that because I'm making an analogy here, which I try to keep as succinct as possible. So, if you attempt a problem and fail, it's not that you get nothing. You still get knowledge. Let's say for the problem, you need 10 pieces of knowledge that you don't have. And you need to go to these, to the learning process, the self-learning process, to actually get to gather all the 10 pieces of knowledge required for you to solve the problem. Once you get them all, you can solve the problem. But up until then, you need to learn yourself about them. You need to search yourself. You need to search yourself for them. So, if you stop at 5 pieces of knowledge and you just give up, then it's still fine. You've attempted the problem and you've gained 5 pieces of knowledge that you previously did not have before attempting. You might not find the answer. Maybe you're going to try it later on. Maybe you're not. The fact that you gained this knowledge is what is valuable. If you attempt a problem, gain ultimate piece of knowledge and get the A plus as well. That's the best thing that's the best outcome can happen. But if you try to cheat, you're basically getting nothing. You're getting the answer, and you might get an A plus. You're getting no piece of knowledge. If she catches you, you're getting an F as well. So it's just not worth it because you're not getting any knowledge whatsoever from it, and you won't know how to solve a future problem that will require those pieces of knowledge that you have. In time, obviously, the rewards will be lower. So this is what I'm trying to do. You need to, even from higher level streams, even if you're a silver, you can learn from Peanut Stream something if you know how to analyze him or try to basically analyze plays. See him making a decision and wonder, why is he actually making the decision? Why is he taking this path? Why is he counter ganking now? Why did he just farm the jungle and then counter gank? Why did he ward her? Why did he do that? Why did he smite at that point in time? Stuff like that. Anything. And wonder, why would he do that? And see the outcome. And try to gather pieces of knowledge that you need in order for you to understand on why he did that. You don't need to get the full reason. Get at least a bit of it. It's enough. You've already gained knowledge. This is why I say that even lower MMR players can improve from high level streams such as Peanuts, Blanks, Harus, whatever, I don't know, Faker, and so on. I'm just saying jungle streams because I am a jungler myself, and it's easier for me to just refer to myself when I'm talking. At least that's how I also gained knowledge back then in Season 3. I watched a lot of streams, and I spammed streams all the time. When I was not playing, I was watching streams. Other than when I was at school, I was constantly watching streams. Be that I'm only listening to them, or I'm actually trying to review them, or I'm actually trying to understand what's happening there. There were some educational streams at some points in time. Some days there were not any, so I ended up having to just try to find a way to improve even if there are no educational streams whatsoever. And that's where the self-learning process takes place. And you need to learn how to use that to improve yourself, because I think it's the best way you can improve, possibly. Watching LCS is the same thing. Maybe some casters won't explain properly where something is being done, so you need to understand it as well. Watching your own replays requires you to have already high levels of skill to analyze what you're doing wrong and what you're doing bad, but you can still just refer to basic stuff you're doing, like maybe I shouldn't have pathed here, maybe I should have pathed there. Obviously, self-learning can be destructive because you might get the wrong knowledge, or you might get the wrong pieces of knowledge. So instead of getting the correct one, you're just getting something else. And it's destructive because when you apply that piece of knowledge to another problem, you might think you did it, but it's just not going to go well. In the end, self-learning is still good, but if you feel like you're in a hard place again, or just not finding the solution, or like you think you find a solution, but nothing is happening, then you have gained a wrong piece of information, and you need to actually stop self-learning for a bit. Try to go for learning from educative streams or for a coach, something like that, and to then return to self-learning, do it again, so on and so forth, up until you get how self-learning works and how you utilize it properly. Now, we are already 23 minutes in, and I don't want to make this end longer because it's already just 3 general tips to improve. So I'll end the video now. This is mostly what I was referring to when I said the most three important things is to have a competitive spirit, to have the drive to actually play the game at a competitive level and try hard every single game, to play as many games as you can without getting burnt out possible, with these games being, let's say, 4 games a day on average, or 3 games a day in a short period of time, taking a small break of 2-3 days and then playing again and then repeating it, and not being frustrated about your losses, but you're still learning from them, and to watch content that can educate you or you can learn from yourself. These are 3 points that I think are very general, but most people in lower brackets have issues with them and don't really follow them as strictly as they should. Nevertheless, I'm Ripsy once again. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, feel free to like and subscribe for more content, obviously. And I'll try to put more content onto my YouTube channel. If you want to find myself, I'm on Excel as a coach. You can find me there. I'll put a link in the description. It's 6 hours. It's £6 per hour, if I remember properly. And I also do free coaching on League of Mentoring. However, coaching from Xsolla takes priority way over the coaching from League of Mentoring. The coaching for League of Mentoring, however, is free, so if you want to go for that, I'm going to find as well. I'm not going to be doing Warriors coaching and League of from the League of Mentoring, the free one, compared to the one that's paid. It's just that you'll get it way faster, probably in just a day. Compared to League of Mentoring, well, we'll probably delay you for 5 days, maybe stuff like that. So, nevertheless, thank you very much for watching the video, and bye bye.